Hello everyone, Flux 1.1 has just dropped, so we're going to get right into it. This is like one paper so far. It's really cool. So we are going to use the same outline that we've used before. We're going to use different styles. So we have realistic photos, we have anime, we have a comic book style, we have 3D renders, we have digital art, we have cartoon animals, we have vintage or retro aesthetics, we have minimalistic style, we have some fantasy here and there, and after that we are going to have surrealism and then written text. So the idea is to see how it's going to perform using these different styles. We're going to have 3 prompts per style. And this is what we've used with all the other image generating softwares and Flux 1.1, which is very new. It's awesome. So the first category that we went with was realistic photos. And these are the same ones that we had. So like the first one is a sunlit path with depth light filtering through the leaves. And it is a very realistic photo. You can see the images, you can see the tree, the lighting. It looks a bit AI, but it is one of the most realistic that we've gotten so far. The second image, by far, beautiful image. This is one of the best that we've gotten when it comes to realistic photos. And it's supposed to be a close-up of an elderly person with withered skin and kind eyes. And we can see like the wrinkles in the skin, did a really good job of that, like portrait mode, which it just looks like a very amazing image. For the third one was a bustling city street at night with neon signs and neon slickered pavement. And this is definitely the most realistic photo that we've gotten so far. If I can just zoom in, you can see there's even like a person with a bike, which is quite awesome. And then the streets look very real. It looks like a very real photo. So I give it to Flux 1.1 Pro. This is amazing. The second style that we have was a comic book style, and this is a superhero team posing dramatically against a cityscape background. This is like the first image. It looks good. I wish it would have been a bit more original with it. Like we still have Superman here and there. I wish it would have gone like with nuanced characters, but still a very good one. For the second image, which was supposed to be an action-packed scene with onomatopoeic sound effect. I don't know if I said that correctly. For the second image, I don't feel like it really did a very good job. Flux is known to be very good with realistic images, but cartoons not as much. The third image was supposed to be a villain's lair filled with high-tech gadgets and minions. And again, like a lot of the other ones, it went with minions from Despicable Me. I wish it didn't. But still, very good image. I wish it would have looked more cartoony. It looks like if cartoon were realistic. Yeah, I don't know if that makes sense. But that's kind of like the vibe that Flux is giving me. The third category that we have is digital art. And this is the first prompt. It was supposed to be a digital art of a cyberpunk cityscape with neon light and flying cars, and this is good. It looks like artistic-ish and also very realistic. Like it looks like it's right from like a scientific movie. Like it's not as realistic as I'd like it to be, but definitely the most realistic. So yes, that's quite awesome. It doesn't look necessarily like art, but when it comes to realism, it has added that realistic element to the digital part. The second prompt that we have was a digital art of a fantastical creature hybrid combining elements of different animals. And it has done a very good job with it. It's like a human element there as well. I think this is really good. It does look very digital art-ish, artistic-ish. It looks a bit fantastical as well. But yeah, so that's very good job with that. Okay, so the third one was supposed to be a digital art of an abstract representation of emotions using bold colors and shapes. And this is one of the best images that we've gotten so far in the series. I wish it did not necessarily use people. It was supposed to be a bit abstract, but still really good. I wish it would have used people more, but I think it's still leaning on that realistic aspect of it. The fourth category that we have was vintage or retro aesthetics. And the first prompt that we have was a vintage image of a 1950s diner scene with classic cars and retro fashion. And this is the closest that we've gotten when it comes to an image generating software following the prompt. So this is really good. I definitely wish that it will look more realistic, but it's good. I like it. The second image was a vintage image of a psychedelic 1960s concert poster with swirling pattern. Now, this one was good, not as good as I would like it to be, but it still did a very good job when it came to the psychedelic element. I think it would have been better. It could have been better when it comes to that. And then does not necessarily look like a poster. It looks like a template for a poster. The third prompt was a vintage image of an art deco inspired travel poster for an exotic destination. Again, amazing when it comes to the poster part. At least I can see the exotic destination part. I wish the poster had a destination or looked more of a poster. It just looks like another template. So if you're trying to come up with a vintage template for posters, I think this would be a good place to start. The other category that we have was fantasy art, and the first prompt was a fantasy image of a majestic dragon perched atop of a crystal mountain. And it is really good. I don't know if I'm biased, but this is one of the best that I've seen so far. So I vote for this one. It looks very fantastical. It looks like a dragon. The second image is supposed to be a fantasy image of an enchanted forest with glowing mushrooms and fairy creatures. And this is good. This is one of the best that we've gotten so far. It looks very realistic. It looks very fantastical. The third image, it was supposed to be an epic battle between wizards with colorful like magical spells. And this is the most realistic that we've seen so far. The other category of images that we have was anime. And the first prompt we have was a magical girl transformation sequence with sparkles and flowing hair. And it's good. The second one was an intense shonen battle with scene with energy blast and dramatic poses. It does look like a scene, looks like he's fighting himself though. But again, very good. I feel like it can be done better, or we have seen better. The third prompt was a slice of life scene of a high school student eating lunch on a rooftop. The other category that we have was 3D renders, and the first image was a 3D render of a futuristic spacecraft interior with holographic displays and sleek design. Honestly, when it comes to Flux, they know how to make almost anything look very realistically. This looks like it's real. I don't know, like a game. It looks awesome. They're not seats though, but yeah, again, it's good. It's good. The holographic displays are there. I wish they were a bit more visible, let's say, but yeah, still, it can be better if the holographic displays are more visible. The second image was a 3D render of a photorealistic football with various textures and reflections. And oh, cool Lord, this is so good. And you can also see it has gone out of its way to also have pieces of fruit falling on the ball, also in the ball, which is kind of cool. So when it comes to 3D render, I'll definitely pick this one. The third image was a 3D render of an architectural visualization of a modern eco-friendly skyscraper. It doesn't look as realistic, but when it comes to, again, it's just a 3D render. It's not supposed to look realistic. And the image is really good for anyone who's an architect. I don't know if that looks like a building that is eco-friendly, but it looks very clean. It has a very good balance with lighting and shadows. You can see here. A very good image, to be honest. Okay, the other category that we have is cartoon animals, and this is to see how the image generating software, and in this case, Flux 1.1 is going to handle generation of cartoons. And the first prompt we have is a cartoon image of a group of mismatched animal friends having tea at a party. Oh, cool. Let me just shift that. In the first image, looks very good, honestly. It doesn't look as cartoony as I would like it to look. Looks like a 3D-ish cartoon. And yeah, it can be done better. I feel like it can do better. But it's, again, when it comes to 3D images, looks very good. The second image was supposed to be a cartoon image of a mischievous cartoon fox outsmarting a grumpy bear. I like how it has played with like the edges of the image. I like this. Looks like something that can be put in like a children's book. So I like that. I like that added texture there. So that's really good. When it comes to the third image, it was supposed to be a cartoon image of cute farm animals putting on a musical performance. It looked good. There are farm animals. I wish that there were more variety of animals, because here we only have cows. But I think can be done better. But again, that's what it looks like. So in case you're interested, that's cartoon animals for you. One of my favorite categories is definitely the minimalistic design. And the first image was a simple logo design using negative space and only one color. And it has given us 3, which is interesting. So we have this first one here, this second one, and then this third one. It looks good, looks like a logo. It definitely can be used. This is definitely not one color. Yeah, it looks like a logo. It can definitely be used, but it's not really necessarily one color. So it doesn't pass for me on that one. The second image was supposed to be a minimalistic design of product packaging with minimal text. So in this one, it did not give us any text actually. So yeah, it went all the way, no text, but they definitely are minimal design. So for the second image, it was supposed to be a clean and modern product packaging with minimal text. So in our image, we didn't really get any text. The third image was supposed to be an infographic showing basic shapes and a limited color palette. And in our case, it really did that in a way. This is one of the best infographics that we've seen. It gave us a map, which I guess that still counts. So yes, not a pass per se for me, but still good job when it comes to that one specific image. So the other category that we have is surrealism. And the first prompt that we have was a melting clock draped over a tree branch in a barren landscape. And this is a good image. I wish the clock was melted more, but it has gotten an idea of what I wanted, has answered the question-ish, and still really good. The second image is by far now my second favorite image when it comes to this specific prompt, and it was a person with a cloud for a head raining on a field of flowers. This is what we got with Microsoft Designer, so really good with this. But now with Flux 1.0, it is way more realistic. The third image was a staircase leading to multiple impossible doorways in the sky. And this is what we have. Good. Looks like heaven, like when you die, this is kind of like what you're going to get. Okay, and then now we have everyone's favorite category, written text. And written text, this is a handwritten note. This is a written text. And this is going to gauge whether the image generating software, and in our case, Flux 1.1 Pro, is going to be able to. The first image was a handwritten note saying the quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog, and has done a very good job with it. It looks handwritten, but when it comes to jumps, it says thumps. So not as accurate as the other Flux was, but still looks handwritten. The second image was supposed to be a chalkboard with that phrase written on it, and it got most of it correct. Only up to like here, Fragia, here like Fragia. So it went Lee. The Lee is missing here. So kinda good as estate. Let's say I'll give it like an 80%. The third image was supposed to be a street sign displaying one-way streets to that place, which is, in case you didn't know, one of the longest streets or longest places in the world in terms of the name. And did not really spell at all. I feel like it gave up. It started as we're not doing it. Yes, so that's Flux 1.1 Pro. You can still access it. I'm now going to show you how to do that, but let me know in the comments what you think. Is it better than the others? Is it a significant improvement? I think it is, and it's only going to get better. Remember, this is the worst that AI is going to be. So for those who want to know how to access Flux 1.1 Pro, I'm going to put the link in the description below, and I'm using togetherpoint.ai to access it. So you just create an account with your Gmail, and then it's going to take you to this place here. And this is where you can enter your text and then generate your pictures from. Okay, so thank you for joining me in this video. This has been fun. Flux 1.1 Pro, I'm going to be playing around with it a bit more, and we're going to be releasing more videos on AI. So if you want to learn more about AI, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.